Okay, we're going to go ahead and get live here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, brothers. Starting with our traditional salutation, just making sure that we are all broadcasting ready. Okay, we're now live on Facebook. And all right, okay, all right. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. First, giving every brother, all our beloved brothers and family who are fasting, the greetings of Ramadan Mubarak, which means a blessed Ramadan. And I will start with our traditional salutation as a Muslim. I start by saying, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise I forever do. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is his exalted Christ. And I further bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is his divine reminder and warner among us. Again, I greet you, my beloved brothers, with the greeting words of peace. We said in the Arabic language, the language of our forefathers, of Assalamu alaikum. In English, it simply means peace be unto you. Brothers, as we enter into this holy and sacred month of Ramadan, we enter into a time of reflection, a time of discipline, and a time of transformation. Ramadan is not about fasting from food alone. Ramadan is about fasting from evil, immorality, fasting from division, fasting from that which weakens us as men and weakens us as a people. The holy month of Ramadan is divided into three parts. And I want to start here because I would be remiss in my duty if I didn't just talk a little bit in our opening about this sacred month in which the Holy Quran was revealed. This holy month of Ramadan is divided into three parts. The first part is mercy. Allah extends his mercy to us, giving us the opportunity to return, to correct ourselves, and to come back into alignment. The second part of this sacred and holy and blessed month is about forgiveness, where we seek forgiveness from Allah. And we also, after we seek forgiveness from Allah, we should seek forgiveness from one another. And the third part is salvation from hellfire, meaning we are striving to be saved. We are striving for the mercy and the blessing of Allah to save us from the destruction that is bound to come to the wicked. But we're also praying for salvation from the fire that is created inside of us, the things that we need to overcome right within ourselves. And one of the greatest fires that we face today is the division among brothers, which brings us to our subject tonight, a divine principle that sounds simple but governs our success as a people. Want for your brother what you want for yourself. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the law of Islam. He said, if one brother has a bowl of bean soup, the other brother has half a bowl of bean soup. Something so simply put, but so majestic and powerful, because it speaks to the nature of God in each and every one of us. And it speaks directly to our responsibility. So to want for your brother what you want for yourself is not just to say it, not just to post it, but to live it. Because the conditions of the Black man today is a reflection of how we have treated one another. If we want success, but I don't want success for my brother, if I want peace, but I don't want peace for my brother, if I want growth, but I want or I am in competition with my brother, then I've already violated the law of God. Listen to the scripture from the Holy Quran. The believers are but brothers, so make peace between your brothers and keep your duty to Allah, that mercy may be had on you. That's from Surah 49, verse 10, or Ayah 10. The Bible teaches that thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And again, be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another. Romans chapter 12, verse 10. Brotherhood is not a feeling. Brotherhood is a standard. It is a law. It is a requirement for our survival. Because if I truly want for you what I want for myself, then I'm not in competition with you. I'm building with you. Think over that. I'm not tearing you down. I'm lifting you up, brother. I'm not jealous of you or envious of you. I'm invested in you as my brother. So tonight, brothers, we have to ask ourselves honestly, do I really want for my brother what I want for myself? Or do I only want for myself? Because the future of our people, brothers, will be determined by how we personally, internally, and honestly answer that question. And if we can't want for our brother what we want for ourselves, then we are not fit to build a nation. So I part there and I say, brothers, welcome to We Must First Be Brothers. Thank you for tuning in. It'd be lovely if you could all come from behind the sycamore tree and let us see your beautiful, blessed faces here on this broadcast tonight. We thank you so much for participating, because this is a real special and blessed movement that we are engaged in. And brothers, it is really our obligation. It is tapping into our divine nature with the divine God, with our responsibility. So to want for your brother what you want for yourself is extraordinarily significant in helping us to overcome a very deep illness that has caused us to remain disunited. So we start there. What does this mean to you? What does that question that I'm putting on the table, what does it mean to you, my brother? We want to jump right in, and I want to hear from you tonight, and we want to be engaged, heavily engaged in this subject, and share your wisdom. There's the mighty John. What's going on, my brother? There's that beautiful black man. But what does it mean to you to want for your brother what you want for yourself? And anyone can jump in right away, and we can get right into discussion because we want to peel back the layers. And so if I need to select you, I will definitely select you right off the top. But we want you to jump right into this discussion. I know you brothers are loaded on this one. One thing I will say, just while we getting warmed up, I know some of us got to get a little warmed up. But listen, I was thinking about this because I made a post earlier this week on this subject. And the thought came to me, if a brother does not know what he wants for himself, that's a serious dilemma to be in. So there's a significant study that we have to be engaged in called Getting the Knowledge of Self. And as we gain the knowledge of self, there's another significant study that parallels with that, that's in congruency with that, and that is to get the knowledge of God. So these two knowledges, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, work together. He said, because the knowledge of God is the knowledge of self. So once a man starts to know who he is, then he can properly start to understand what he needs and what he wants. See, as I have grown in this process, I have grown to realize that I want peace. I want joy. I want brotherhood. I want good health and well-being. I want happy and blessed families for my people. I want our communities to be decent and safe places to live. I want young black men to grow up and to be intelligent, exercising all of the wisdom and potential that God gave them. I want our young girls to be protected, to grow into beautiful women, to become powerful mothers, powerful leaders, powerful energy sources to help us to continue the process of fueling the life force. I want my brother to be successful. I want him to be the leader of his family, the leader of his community. I want him to have success in every aspect of what it is that he desires as a man. So I'm growing more and more every day to understand what I want, because I want all of those things for myself, but I want them for my brother. And even if my brother crosses the finish line or has measures of success before I have those measures of success that I desire, where I may not have them, I am all so blessed to witness my brother moving into that success. See, this is one of the great areas where the enemy has us at war with each other. This is a very significant topic, brothers, because this is the one that is keeping us fighting and killing one another, which is what was in our lesson. Lying, stealing, and mastering us, causing us to fight and kill one another. So today we're fighting and killing each other over nothing, over envy, jealousy, over things, over materialism, classism. We've been set up by an enemy that has caused this division amongst us. So we have to go to war with all of the diseases that block us from reaching the pinnacle of brotherly success. Brother Lewis, I can see you over there churning, my brother, and glowing like a light bulb, brother. Got that beautiful Muslim glow. Ramadan starts to activate fast. And it's not hard for us because those of us, we mostly are eating according to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us anyway. So, but it seems like Allah activates something in the atmosphere during this period, and the brothers just start purifying instantly. So I can see the beauty on my brother. Welcome, brother, to We Must First Be Brother Lewis from the South. Mighty Lewis Ali from the South. Welcome, beloved. I can't hear you yet. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Yes, there we go.
Kareem, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Ramadan Mubarak.
We made it to another Ramadan.
Yes, yes.
And I'm so thankful for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan standing up and reestablishing the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that God gave to him so we would learn what a real brotherhood looks like. I remember when I joined the FOI and I went into the orientation class, and it said, welcome to, in the orientation package, the best brotherhood the world had ever seen. Now, this is coming from a people who the world called cursed. Do you know what it means to be cursed, Brother Michael?
I have my idea, but I want to hear what you have to say on it, beloved. Yes,
and this is why I always kind of tell people it's never good to use a bunch of profanity and call each other by nicknames, which Nick means devil. You know, old Saint Nick, nicknames. And the Quran does teach that evil is a bad name after faith. So part of why our people are so evilly opposed to each other is because the enemy took away our names. And he started giving us names of the devil. So when we refer to each other, oftentimes we refer to each other on a lower vibration and frequency than what we are. And this alone, and you know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Muslims used to teach real hard on giving up the devil's name, giving up he's an opponent, giving up his frequency and his vibration that is carried by the name that you call yourself. And so often we see each other as competition. And in competition, there has to be a winner and a loser. And so if your brother bests you, now I'm proudly 5'9.5", but I'm a little older than you, Brother Michael.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you were taller than me.
Yes, sir. I used to dunk.
I used to dunk. But my point is that when we see each other as competition, somebody got to be the winner, somebody got a loser. For something as simple as physical height, if I perceive that you best me in height, and you actually did, you're taller than me, then how does that cause me to look at my brother? What about if you went to college and I didn't graduate from college? How did that competition, you against me against you, it could be overt, but often it's a covert competition that goes on among brothers, lighter skinned against darker skinned. This sister got long hair, the other sister has shorter hair. And what this competition does, it causes us to overlook the compliments and the beauty that is inside of each one of us. Now, Mother Tanetta Muhammad, she told several people before she transitioned that she wanted to show the beauty of Islam. See, part of the beauty of Islam is we recognize the attributes of Allah in each other. That's how come you could, without hesitation, give me a compliment as we can enter the show, because you're not plagued with the debris in your spirit of being that kind of individual who sees me as the ops. See? And this is something that we have to be very direct and uproot out of our people. You know, you can literally walk down the street in some black communities and there are other brothers who want to fight each other.
Teach.
Just on sight.
Just on sight.
The person ain't did nothing. Who that? He drives a nice car. Who that Ian? Now they always put that curse word on him.
Right.
Who that Ian word think he is? Who that B word think she is? See, the curse has to go with it. And this is why the Talmudic rabbinical scholars have been so unkind and evil to us. What an evil thing to write us in their so-called holy book as cursed by Noah, one of his sons, to be cursed. And any group of people that see us, you're black, you got nappy hair, you got a broad nose and those thick lips, you are cursed. Oh, really? So if I'm cursed, how should you treat me, brother? Would you treat me with freedom, justice, and equality? Do you see me as a brother? Could you give me a compliment as Brother Michael did when I entered the room? Or do you feel that I'm competition? Last point. Dr. Francis Quest Welsing, may Allah be pleased with these great women, Mother Tainetta Muhammad also. But she said, self-respect is the foundation of justice. See, the reason why it's not difficult for you to give a compliment to someone else is because of your level of self-respect. Mr. Muhammad Elijah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said that Islam dignifies. It makes us a dignified people to where we garner and have a certain level of respect for ourselves and respect for our brothers. This is why, I call John Tornado. That's what they call my dad. He's like the Texas Tornado. I've been calling him that. I know him really well. Yeah. But do you know me and John rode across this country with Dr. Ava, went everywhere together, never had a cross word because we love each other and he has a certain level of self-respect. And it's easy for him to respect others. What the enemy has done in putting that N word on us, and N just means, that Negro and Necroy is really the same word. You can interchange the consonants. When you say necrophiliac, in love with the dead, but Negro means dead. It means devoid of spirit. It means that you are on a low frequency. It means that you're mentally and morally dead without the spirit of the ancient God or ancestors within you. The messianic figure comes to resurrect the dead spirit of God that is dormant and needs to be activated inside of our brethren and sisters.
Yes.
So this is why we have a beautiful brotherhood, and I'm really hoping that we can all get together, including you, Dr. Nash.
Yes.
To break this Ramadan fast at the end of it, where we're denying ourselves food and water during the daylight hours. We're going from one end of the Holy Quran to the other end of it. It's divided into 30 beautiful parts. We read one part a day. And my wife and my children, of course, they're participating, but I have other family members and extended family members that are not even Muslims that are participating because we intend to have a higher level of respect for ourselves.
Right.
And we know that high level of respect for ourselves will make us stop looking at every beautiful black man you see as competition.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Brother Lewis. There,
brother Lewis, you're really coming right off the. You threw the amazing assist, brother, to these points. Like it's on, man. It looked like we finna win this whole process because you're right in sync with the principle of what we're talking about. The thought that came to mind to me was love. See, it's something about as you grow as a man and you grow to understand value and what real value is, you look over at your brother and you realize he's a one of a kind. There's no other brother like that brother. You know, that's the beauty of how Allah created everything in the universe. He says in the Quran, there's no two things that he has created that is identical. You know, no two snowflakes that are alike, no two leaves on a tree that are not that are alike. You know, but there's something beautiful about the nature of God in a man, in a brother, that you can tap into that. And when you have the right heart, when your heart is right, you know, you can see God coming through your brother. So you're not threatened by that. You are in a celebratory spirit based on what you are seeing. It's so many of our brothers, and I thank some of you who are tuning into the call tonight, but who are in the streets, who have been programmed to hate each other. You know, you mentioned the N word earlier. This is a language that the enemy taught us. In fact, all of the languages that the enemy has taught us is languages that keep us divided, keep us disconnected, keep us at odds with each other, keep us in competition with one another. See, that's one of the reasons why the language brother is so powerful, because it automatically combines us. Some might say, well, we don't got the same mom and dad. We're not talking biologically. We're talking about nature. We're talking about essence. We're talking about origin when we say brother. You see? So, Dr. Nash, you want to chime in there?
I wanted to say one of the things that show up in what Brother Ali was saying was, if you're envious of your brother, if you got to have opposition with him, it makes you be alone. If you were together with Brother Ali and I don't think I could be closer to anybody than I feel with Brother Ali. So I'm not standing alone when I'm in Baton Rouge. I know Brother Ali's there, and as I get to know other brothers, the same thing will happen. It won't be a situation where I'm by myself. I have a group.
Man.
I have a band of brothers.
Beautiful.
And you know, could I add a little, Brother
Yes,
Michael?
brother. Jump right in. Jump right in.
We are social beings, you know, and even the Bible said it's not good for man to be alone. So the assumption is that you always have to be with a woman. But if you had a strong enough brotherhood, you could build something for women and the children. See, when you see your brother and you got an extra set of hands, an extra set of muscles, an extra set of eyes, an extra set of ideas, then we learn about the body of Christ and the interconnective power of the body of Christ. Everybody is not going to just be a preacher, but
That's
God
right.
knows we need some preachers.
Yes.
But we can't overlook the other members of the body. Being alone has led many of our brothers and sisters, but especially our sisters, to deep depressive bouts. Do you know they say that about 50% of our sisters now are on psychotropic drugs? Do you know that there was a time that suicide was unheard of in our community? Much of the suicide, or many of the suicides that you see in our community, could have been avoided just with a simple brotherhood or sisterhood, or somebody that you could confide in to help you sort out the tangled knots that knotted up inside of our subconscious or conscious mind. The therapy that we have received, and it has not been called therapy, but it's really
It's
therapy.
therapy. Yes.
There is not, we don't have numbers to how many murders Minister Farrakhan has prevented with his preaching and inspiration.
Preach.
We don't have documentation of how many women that were delivered from obesity based on the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We need to really think about these things.
Facts.
There were many women, due to low self-esteem, who were free for all women. And Minister Farrakhan's teachings and the brotherhood and the mighty MGT. See, most of us, the reason why we do things that are so terrible a lot of times is because we're disconnected from love, Brother Michael.
Absolutely.
And I'm not talking, I mean, when you feel like no one cares about you.
Absolutely.
And you're not strong enough yet to care about yourself. And I really know what that's like.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
I have family members who have not yet discovered love for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm empathetic to that because there was a point in my life when I didn't have love for myself. And if you don't have love for yourself, you don't have respect for yourself. And if you don't have respect for yourself, you really can't properly respect others, Brother Michael.
That's right.
So you spend your life, you really, and I've looked at this, Minister Farrakhan has this incredible way to just love, man. You heard me? He really, this is why we're so offended when some sick satanic vessel would dare call Minister Farrakhan a hate teacher when he's delivering us from hate.
That's right.
He's delivering us from hating ourselves.
That's right.
You know, so it is my hope, and I believe that you brothers are the proof that we can give people just a little bit of what the minister gave us for free.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when I read the book and I had all of the 18 members, the young men who were with me, read the book and study the book. We must be brothers first.
Yes.
We must first be brothers.
Yes.
And this is something that you lifted as a flag from the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, but you were the vessel that was inspired to write the book.
Yes.
And it has caused all of us to take a deeper look at the power of what a brotherhood really is. See, this is like a revival of what a brotherhood really is and really is supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And you went across religious lines.
Yes.
And class lines. Dr. Nash is a doctor, very busy man, But even busy men need their soul fed in brotherhood.
That's
I do.
right.
You do.
Yes.
And the thing about it is that there are only a few places that we could go as young men, and we joined these teachings, 35 years ago or so for me.
Yes, me too.
But it made all the difference in my life. I don't think I would be a decent father. I think I'm a decent father and husband. Were it not for Minister Farrakhan opening up a brotherhood. And you know what's so interesting, man? Minister Farrakhan didn't charge us a dime to come in the FOI class. I mean, that's still blowing my mind away because they got all these self-help gurus that make millions of dollars that give you stuff that is by far beneath the standard that Minister Farrakhan held us to in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So no, brothers, this Ramadan, at the end of it, we must first be brothers, but we must get together to break our fast.
Yes.
Last point, Brother Michael, did you know in the Holy Quran, it says that he is your brother or sister, but it says brother who fights with you in the struggle. Did you know that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we're in a struggle to resurrect the dead.
Yes.
Not the dead in the cemetery, 6 feet under, but the dead who have suffered 6,000 plus years under the psychotic leadership of God's open enemy. And Minister Farrakhan has uncovered him. He's shown them to the world, and every day, more and more people are coming, and all colors. I've never seen so many Caucasians in my life who are starting to figure out who this guy is, who Malcolm X called Mr. In Between, who's sucking the blood of the poor people and causing us to fight and kill one another. Who is that satanic one? You have to listen to Minister Farrakhan and read that Bible, Revelations 2 and 9, and
I think it's so important that we do, beloved, because that goes right in alignment with the knowledge of self, and as we've been taught, the knowledge of God and the knowledge of others. You know, we got brothers, and I'm glad you mentioned our appeal. Although you're kind of those of you who are listening who may not be in the Nation of Islam per se, but you're being blessed to peek into what you are in, because you really are in the nation. But in the sense of what I'm saying, you're being blessed to peek into a kind of a conversation. You welcome into a conversation. It's not even a peek. We're welcoming our people into this conversation. So for my brothers who are Christian, my brothers who may be Hebrew, my brothers coming from different walks of life, I welcome you. We welcome you to participate in this conversation. This is not a conversation where you're out. It would be counterproductive if we don't welcome the whole brotherhood of our brothers and we find common ground. That's our agenda here. That's what Honorable Elijah Muhammad was doing for us. That's what the minister is doing for us. That's what this is about. It's about building a real brotherhood. Because when we look out in the streets, we're seeing our young brothers committing suicide, as Brother Lewis pointed out. We look out in the street, we're still killing each other with gunshots. A gunshot wound is still one of the leading causes of death. I was reading a statistic that I pulled up while Brother Lewis was talking. You know, a young man between the ages of 18 and 24 are 23 more times likely to die from gunshot, from homicide, from gunshot wounds. You know, you got, even though Black people are about 13% to 14% of the population, we're still 87% of Black homicides are killed by guns. We're killing each other. And I'm just pointing it out, not to recite what we know and we hear so often, but it is important to put this in a context when we talk about wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. When you think about the fact that if we've been made to not love one another properly, this is one of the reasons why it's so easy for us to take each other's lives. We do it so easily. You know, for the young hip hop heads, you know, I remember Tupac coming out, you know, and he was, you know, coming back to his consciousness. Now, note, for those of you who don't know, he has a Muslim name, is Shakur, which is from the attribute of Allah, Ash-Shakur, which is the rewarder of thankfulness. So the brother had conscious roots at his foundation. But I remember listening to an interview one time, and he was talking about his ops, his enemies. And he said, as the spirit of brotherhood and the spirit of love for the people, the consciousness was growing back up in him, he said it was hard for him to look over at the brothers who he knew were his enemies and feel like they were his enemies. He wanted to reach out and be a brother to them. You see, that's why it's so important that we get a comprehensive knowledge. You are killing your own brother in the streets, not realizing that he's not ever coming back. You hating him like he really did something so severe. You're not recognizing the enemy in between. And the major enemy is not just the white man, but it's the system and the education of the enemy. It's the self-hatred that he produced that we have to overcome. We have to overcome what he put in us, you know? And once we overcome what he put in us, then we will start to look at each other differently. You know, you'll start to see, that's my brother. That is my brother there. You know, I don't want to see him, his children grow without a father. There's so many young Black men who are dying in the streets of America, leaving children behind, leaving families behind. You know, the scriptures say, tell Mary not to weep and tell Martha not to moan. Is really talking about the Black woman who's weeping and moaning because her sons are dying in the streets. That's not the white man doing that to us. That's us doing that to us. And we have to stop that. We have to end that cycle. You mentioned the minister and the wonderful works of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I could not agree with you more, beloved, because he taught us the process and the pathway to how to love ye one another, how to love you, how to look in your black eyes. You know, when you in a class and you learn that there's 7 layers of skin or 7 layers in the pupil, starting at the pupil of the black man's eye, going out the whole human family is in the eyes of a black man. The beautiful textures of our skin, the variations of colors of our beautiful skin, the brilliance of our intelligence, the levels of intelligence. We got brothers from all walks of life. And once you can tap in with the right attitude, the right spirit, you start to realize that that's a diamond, that's a jewel, that collective energy and that collective union and experience and diversity within our own community is a blessing, you know. So we are encouraging you who are tuned in, brothers, to participate. Don't be afraid to jump in on the call. I see some of my brothers, I think it's Brother Les Wild. I want to give a big shout out to my brother Les. I see you out there, Brother Les. Thanking you, brother, for sharing and reposting. I've been checking you out, brother. You vibrating high. You know, we welcome you, man, and thank you so much I've been checking you out every week. You know, just want to give you some love and a shout out right over these airways. Brother John, go ahead.
Oh, yes, sir. I just wanted to go back to what we were saying about this. We want for ourselves, for yourself, what you want for your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we have to understand, we have to set the environment. We have to set the tone for this. Because a lot of times it's just talk. You know what I'm saying? So the highest form, and we're talking about brotherhood. So the highest form of brotherhood really is becoming a man that your brother can't lie to. Becoming the type of man that your brother can't lie to. A lot of times, you know, we know this brother, our brother comes up and you know, giving these long tales and just saying stuff that we're looking at each other like, is he for real? Where he get this from?
Right.
But the standard is our presence should make it uncomfortable for somebody to lie. Our very presence. In fact, it should be more painful to lie than it is to sit there and go through the 8 steps of atonement. It should be more painful for that. Just to even, I don't even want to do that because it's more painful. But that part about competition, you know, we heard that competition in and of itself, I heard the minister say that competition in and of itself is not good. So I know we love to say righteous competition, but when there's competition, somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. That is how we've been wired here in the hills of North America. We've been wired that somebody got to win, somebody got to lose, which ain't necessarily true. We all can win. But when you start putting up these divides, but this competition, so when you have this competition, the type of competition I'm talking about is a competition that's dressed up like betrayal. You know what I'm saying? We acting like we really, I really want you to win, brother Mike. I really want you to win, brother Lewis. But I'm mad that brother Lewis got a park. He over there, what? You done built one of the biggest and nicest RV parks in America.
Mm-hmm.
And I come to it, I mean, I heard you built the park, but now that I'm here, this is what it is? Well, how you get this? What is instead of, bruh, what can I do to help? What can I do? I mean, is there anything else we can do? How can we get this in Texas? How can we partner, whatever it is? We got to stop this competition and really want for ourselves. And we're not going to win without us humbling ourselves. That's where that competition gets knocked out. Being able to sit there and humble yourself in a position, and I'm talking about myself first, humble myself in a position to where I want to learn. When the minister I came under in San Diego, may Allah be pleased with him, Minister Amos Muhammad. He sat at the table with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he said he was teaching in Africa. He got his degree. Him and his wife went to Africa and they went to teach. They were teaching English. But he said when he came back to the States and he heard this man Elijah Muhammad talking, he tore his degree up and he humbled himself and got under the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad so he could learn and be re-educated. And this man built the mosque in San Diego, ground up, had more educated people in the mosque in San Diego with quote unquote degrees from this world than any other mosque in all of America.
What?
So it wasn't no competition. He didn't look at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and say, hold up, he got a third, he even finished third grade. I got a degree. He said he tore his degree up. He looked me in the eye and said, brother, I tore that degree up and I humbled myself and got under the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now that's brotherhood. And then he started working to create brotherhood. And that's the mindset we have to have.
That's
in my
right.
humble opinion.
That's right.
Everybody else, Brother Hall, like you got your hand up.
But Hoyle, yeah, let Brother Hoyle tap in.
Assalamu alaikum. Beautiful, beautiful, my brother John and brothers. I want to say Ramadan Mubarak to all my brothers.
Ramadan Kareem.
Yes, sir, brother. This is a beautiful conversation. And this subject is so powerful. I got the new final call and I was reading it, skimming through it, and I said, this is what we're talking about. They got a section in there called Eviction Rates, Gun Violence, and Young Black Men. And the minister was said, listen, brothers, this hits right because we got all the pieces and parts and chess pieces on this panel right here. Brother John, Brother Lewis, Brother Michael, all of
yes, sir.
We got fire on here. And this is what the minister said, brother. He said, if these brothers, they're talking about our youth that are committing gun violence, if these brothers were partnered with licensed plumbers, electricians, brick masons, and painters, and so they could learn the skill, they could rehab and fix up these old abandoned houses. And this is from, Electric did a special message to the Street Girl organization back in December 11, 2004. And he was in the article saying, he said, young people got to not just put down the gun, they got to see something that they can pick up. He said, how do you create a pathway to better educational outcomes? How do you create a pathway to better economic outcomes so that these young people can see the future? And he said he believes it's important to allow young black men who are the most impacted by gun violence to lead the work in creating solutions. When you think about he talked about this, Brother Michael, he said a holistic approach. He says, make sure that you create a room for those who are the most at risk and the most impacted to be leaders at the table. When we talk about leading at the table, it means you get paid in compensation for your time, which hopefully would mean that you would have more access to make sure that you can pay your rent and not be dealing with eviction notice and things like that. Because, we got a record rate of eviction notice there where, these corporations buying up all property, especially in Memphis and these black towns, and buying up these houses and flipping the eviction rates. And that's why I think it's very important for this new, for the subject, we must make our communities decent and safe place. Where you say rebuild the wasted cities, because you got foreign people coming over here buying up these empty houses, fixing up neighborhoods, especially when the corporations get a hold to them, they triple the rent. And he goes on to say, he said, Honorable Louis Farrakhan said that he taught that black people the importance of working in and taking care of their community. He said he's advocated for the young black men to be given opportunities to learn a trade, a skill that would benefit themselves in their community. He said you cannot ask the brothers to put their guns down if you don't have anything for them to do in return. You cannot give them lip service, like the brother was talking about, like Brother John was talking about. He said brothers have children, brothers need jobs, and brothers need income, Minister Farrakhan said in a special message. And then this is so powerful. And when we're in this high level of conversation, the teachings, and want to move, it's not too many brothers getting around on the table talking like us, brother. from this
Praise be
high
to God.
level of civilization.
Yeah.
This is so beautiful for this panel. I thank you, Brother Michael, for this, and Brother
Praise be
Lewis,
to
and Brother
Allah.
John, for y'all,
Yes, sir.
and including the young brothers and having them in here. And anything I can do, I'm in Memphis, and hell, I'm right down the street from y'all. So,
Yes, sir.
I want to come up here. There's plenty to do up here, brother.
Oh, yeah, we know it is.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother. This is
Yeah.
all of this is family, So I got family down in Louisiana, and Mississippi, and all of that area. So I look forward to coming back down there and fellowshipping with y'all again. But let's keep this up, brother, and keep it
Oh, yeah,
moving.
brother. We holding a hard line, Brother Hoyle. And thank you so much for reading
Yeah,
what you read from the
allow me to
minister,
talk, brother.
beloved,
Thank you.
because
Allow me to talk, brother.
that, yeah, and you ain't going nowhere. Stay right here because you might get another spark of electricity. So you ain't no one and done, brother.
Yes,
But
sir.
I just
I
want
want
to thank
to
you.
help, brother.
Yes, sir. But thank you for reading what you read from the minister, because it's really right on point,
Right,
and
right.
it's really about what we have to do. We have to build a solid enough brotherhood. And Brother John said it clearly. It's not about talk. We have to build an infrastructure where we can show what brotherhood really looks like, and that's essential. Of course, we got to have conversation. We're not saying we're gonna moot our tongue, but we're saying we have to have an action that follow up. Brothers we need to be able to have an environment where young brothers can come into a room and sit around brothers like
That's right.
this esteemed group of brothers here and really feel the vibration. Because it's one thing for us to talk, but and just from these airways, even though you can feel it if you're tapped in. But when we're in close quarters, when we're together, it's the energy, the pressure, and the vibration that's coming off of each and every one of us. Like the scriptures say, where there are two or more in my name, the God says, there am I also in the midst of them. See, so it's something very powerful about that. And then there's a transmission of information and education that comes out of being in the company of brotherhood. This is why the enemy works so hard, brothers. And I mean, my brothers who are listening, it's why he works so hard to keep us disunited. He keeps us at odds and in competition, so that we can't promote. We have to get to a place where we can promote. I need to promote my brother. He don't need to have to promote himself. I love him so much that I can say, you're doing a wonderful job, brother. You look beautiful, man. I see you in that FOI uniform black there, brother. And I said, my God, look at the black man is beautiful. Thank you for changing your life and making the effort to be a better brother, man. Thank you for making the contribution to helping our people for all these years, brother. Getting out, hitting the pavement, man, trying to help black men, trying to speak positive to black people, wake up black people. We got to be able to say that, mean it, and encourage it. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, no big eyes and little U's.
Teach, black
we
man.
Gotta bust all that up, bro.
That's right.
We gotta bust it all up, man.
Go ahead.
See, because we don't know at what point Allah will appear in the person of Brother John. He may come in the person of Brother Nash. You don't have to be in the ring. Allah show up wherever he want to show up.
Wherever he want. That's right.
See, so that's why we have to keep a certain kind of mindset, a kind of openness, if you will. We gotta look for the God. We gotta stay humble. That's why the book say the meek, right? Oh, it said how does it go? The meek shall see God. Which one will see God? Help me correct that scripture, brother. The pure in heart.
The pure in heart, right? That's it.
Shall see God, right? Is that what it says?
The meek will inherit the earth.
And the meek shall inherit the earth, right? Come on with me. Get me back on the Bible total now.
Help us out.
Get me back on that Bible now. We got a message so this is slaying that Bible, right? He said, look at your poison book and work cheerfully.
Meek is another word for being humble.
Being humble.
Right.
So he said, but he said the pure in heart, huh?
Right.
The pure in heart, right? Shall see God. Where you gonna see him at? You're gonna see him in your brother. That's why I go around this community, man. I go out, I'm in the streets. I see the young brother. He might be having this gangster lean. I still see God in the brother. I said, boy, you just need a conversion. We got to perform the conversion, because this same brother that you see that's out here looks hard and worn out in the street, but just a slight conversion, that same brother is a God. He can transform the whole society, the whole community. You don't know what you're looking at, but our hearts have to be pure.
That's right.
Our hearts have to be pure. We have to constantly work on our heart to eradicate the diseases that will try to come up. And most of those diseases is right in the realm of illicit competition, silly competition.
That's
Rooted
right.
in insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
A real alpha, a real masculine man, trust and believe, he ain't walking around with bravado, talking about how tough he is. That's not what masculine is. A real masculine man is gentle. He's kind. He's sensitive. He's in touch, check this out, with the feminine side of his nature. Oh, really? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
He's not threatening. He's not overly compensating, trying to prove anything. He's comfortable. So he can look over at a black man and say, boy, brother, you look, you looking good. I tell black men this all the time, and ain't no sugar in my tank.
That's right.
I promise you. None. Zero. None.
Right.
I promise you, because of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us, how to love ye one another. See, so that's what's important here. The question on the table, brothers, we want to keep it circulating. Anyone can participate. You can even participate on Facebook. We chime in. What does it mean to you to want for your brother what you want for yourself? That's what we're talking about right now. That's our discussion point right now. I look like I saw my nephew on the call, because we want to push the young folks out here to chop it up with us. And nephew, go ahead, brother John. Go ahead, brother John. While you waiting on
one of the things I think it keeps the problem with this brotherhood, and we don't really say it, we don't really is brotherhood creates equality. I'm gonna say that one more time.
Teach.
Brotherhood creates equality. See, we're in a world where we want to have titles, we want to have position, we want to have status, we want to have power, all that. Well, when you want to try to get all that, that means that either I'm looking down, standing over, or questioning somebody in a position that I feel that I'm the most. I'm better. That's the mindset of Iblis. I'm better.
Teach.
But true brotherhood, see, Brother Lewis and I didn't have that problem because in the car when we were riding everywhere, we felt equal. I didn't feel Lewis was higher than me. Lewis didn't feel I was higher than him. I didn't feel lower than him. There was enough air in the car for Lewis to breathe.
Come on, brother.
Air in the car for me to breathe.
Preach, brother John.
I wasn't fighting him for no atmosphere.
Come on.
But we have to consider that these hierarchies feeds the ego. See what I'm saying? These hierarchies, and even to say alpha male, how many men have done? Well, I ain't no beta. I'm not no, you know what I'm saying? That. Even though that's not what you was saying.
Right.
That's right.
We really got to retrain our central nervous system. I'm talking like a nurse now.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Because the central nervous system is where the threat comes in, the fight or flight. So we got to train our central nervous system, and this is a 24/7 thing, to not be threatened when we see a brother riding a nicer car. We pass by whatever, or Dr. Nash is on here. Well, he's sitting back. He don't look like no doctor right now. Well, he's not working like a doctor right now. That don't mean that he's not what he is or he haven't acquired what he is. But we really, this starts from the very root and so deep down to where I really have to look at myself and question myself and stay in the moment. Don't go ahead. Don't think about, well, yesterday he was like this here. Or I saw him over here yesterday, or that car, it was dirty yesterday. Whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? Because it don't take much when your ego is on your shoulder. It don't take much when the ego is on your sleeve for you for a person to be like, well, I'm gonna find something wrong. One of the things to find out to check yourself, or either check another brother in a nice way, is to, a brother like Brother Mike walk up, I ask myself, or I'll ask Brother Lewis, hey, that's a nice suit Brother Mike got on. Well, that responds to show you what type of brother, how much brotherhood will come out of that person. If you say, well, that suit's all right, You know,
Yes, come on now.
it ain't a Gucci or a
Come
Polo.
on, brother. Come
Look
on
like,
now.
you know, look like it's
Teach.
secondhand.
Teach.
That's all that competition. That's not brotherhood.
That's right.
That's that threat. That's that central nervous system threat kicking in automatically instead of one saying, yeah. Because Elijah Muhammad told us, no matter what type of suit you have, even if it's a mismatched suit,
Come on.
make sure it's
come on
clean.
with it. Come on, brother. Make it clean. Come
And
on.
that's
Good
it.
training. Good training.
That's what he said.
Yes, sir.
So we really, really, really have to understand that we have to look at ourselves first, create that environment within ourselves first, and then it won't leak out, it won't seep out into the environment to where we have I said earlier, create that environment where a brother won't lie. I don't necessarily mean you can lie, but a person can lie. Dr. Abel taught us that from the position of a lawyer, Brother Lewis, that you can lie by omitting something, by not saying something.
She taught that.
She taught us. She taught hard on that. That you can lie by omitting something, by not saying something.
Come on.
And a lot of times, that's what we do. We won't say. So,
teach.
Example: when Jesus was at his trial, how many people came and spoke?
Teach.
It wasn't his trial. It was the people that were supposed to come speak. So they all lied. They all lied on him.
Come on.
No one came over there and told the truth.
Teach.
Teach, brother. Are we doing this now in this situation? Are we not? Are we preparing ourselves for every Thursday night to be on here to create this brotherhood? Huh? Are we waiting till the last minute when I send the thing out at the last minute? I gotta admit,
that's all right.
I try to do a little bit earlier, but everyone has to pick this rope, put their hand on this rope. Because everyone can't pull on the 2 people can't pull on this rope by themselves.
That's
1 person, 3 person. All of us that's on this call, all 9 people ought to be pulling.
That's right.
And all 9 people ought to be getting another person to be pulling.
Absolutely. Brother John, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was going to let you wrap it up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
So what I was going to say, we have to understand that equality doesn't feel like a loss. Equality doesn't mean that I lost. Equality doesn't mean that, because he got that FOI suit and mine and got tight. No, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Equality means that just what you did, Brother Mike, man, you looking good in that FOI suit. That's equality. Yes,
absolutely. Sir. Brother, the reason I want to jump in right there with you is because you said something that's very profound when you talk about omission, and how you can lie by not saying something. I remember one of the early trainings in the brotherhood that I learned, and that is when a brother pays another brother compliment. You use the example, but there's a little aspect to it. And if I say something to you positive about Brother Lewis and you fail to relay the message, or you intentionally don't relay the message, that is another form of a disease that can develop. You're supposed to pass that on because that's an act of charity, and it's an act of you taking a responsibility to lift your brother up with your brother. If that makes sense to you. It was just something you said, and I think it's something that we don't pay attention to that. But if a brother is saying positive things, we're duty bound to say, hey, Brother John said that you were beautiful. Brother John said you were doing a wonderful job, Brother Hoyle. Brother John said, if I know what Brother John said and I come in your company and I don't mention that, I can be held responsible for violating a principle in brotherhood. I just want to lift that because you hit some heavy notes. I want to play a little clip, but I want to go to Brother Lewis and they want to play a little clip here because it's something I think would be really entertaining to the point.
John said both of y'all, so many powerful points. I wanted to raise a question. Would you consider someone who likes to show off what they call flossing?
Yes.
Or you go down in a poor neighborhood and you might have a nice vehicle and you one up one another.
Yeah. Yeah, I can answer that. Yes, sir. Yeah, and we are one up. It goes right back to the ego. Francis Chris Weldon, teacher, Neely Fuller. He said the only reason why a black person gets what they get, do what they do, is to impress another black person or to show up another black person.
Mm-hmm.
We're not running over there to show up white folk or the Latino. We're not driving or going to the Asian community and acting the same way. We're not going to any other community. We driving like this brother College used to say, we drive up and down MLK, one end to the other end, back and forth all day long, showing
off.
And he called it strutting around the plantation.
Strutting around the plantation. And what you're saying was a form of strutting around the plantation.
and the thing of it is that you come down there and you're not down there to help. Now there's nothing wrong with having a nice car or a nice suit. But when we go down there with a decent car and nice suits, we go down there to serve. Therefore, no one ever jacks the Muslims. Nobody robs a Muslim because you're there to give. You see what I'm saying, Brother John, Brother Michael?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But the thing that I noticed is I've never seen an Asian trying to show off. I hadn't even seen an Arab really trying to show off against other Arabs. And the point that I'm trying to point at is when someone does that to another person, intentionally and sometimes maybe unintentionally because we're not conscious of what we're doing.
Brotherhood.
It can be detrimental to brotherhood, but it causes, to Brother Mike's original point, it causes us to see each other as the ops. So now we've created this competition or fed into the competition that the enemy gave us on buying products from him. So I got to get a Louis Vuitton. I got to get this and that. Women do it a lot. So I can show this other one, I can spend more money with the slave master than you. Therefore, going back to that name, I have more of their name on me. Therefore, I'm Iblis. I'm better.
I'm better.
And we have to depart from this state of buying things, flossing on each other, and trying to say I'm better. And prior to integration, we were not like that. My wife sent me something today. It was showing how immigrants would come here and live 4 or 5 in a house, and within 5 or 6 years, they paid a 30-year mortgage off. 5 or 6 years, it's done. And they off to the next one. We want to live practicing the religion of individualism, where we don't pool our resources together. Because if I pool my resources with you and Brother John, then we have equality. But if I could show you that I'm of this flossing status above you, then there's no more equality because we're not pitching in together to do nothing. Am I making sense? This
Absolutely.
is what other groups do.
Yes, sir. The only acceptable elevation is you only elevate it on how hard you work to help the circle get better. That's it. So that 30-year loan that you're saying, they all worked hard, and that's where the elevation comes. That's why they all look at each other and come together and like, this person really helped me get to the next level. How many of us even thinking about helping each other to get to
now prior to, that is the point, Brother John, prior to integration and prior to them trying to destroy the work of Mr. Muhammad, we couldn't go into a bank and get an individual loan.
That's right.
Therefore, under the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey in the early days of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we had to pool our resources together. That was the social construct we used to to build Black Wall Streets around this nation. We didn't go in, we couldn't get in the banks. They wouldn't loan us any money.
Right.
Once they created the Fair Isaac housing thing, what they call FICO score, they started allowing individuals to come in, but that was only so that we would break ranks in pooling our resources together. And the thing of it is that the way this country is going, and this is again why we must first be brothers, because we're going to lead the charge in showing our women and our children on how to pool resources together again in order to be successful. But all the other groups, they're already doing this, man. They're not going to take no 30 years to pay for a home. Not the immigrants. No, sir. No, ma'am. They're living deep with each other. They're sharing resources and talent. What they don't see, and our eyes, almost like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, the serpent causes them to eat a forbidden idea, and it so poisoned them until their eyes came open to selfishness and greed and individualism and all of this stuff. And that's really part of the reason why it takes us so long to get up, because we see each other as competition. We always want to try to show off against one another. And then even when a person comes to us and tries to tell us certain things, we may ask him, which is another competition, well, what college did you graduate from, Brother John? Did you graduate from Harvard? Because I'm from Harvard. Were you from Yale? See, it's all about the show off and the one up one another. Right. And this is something that we have to really take a look at, right, and try to nip it in the butt, because when other groups come here, part of the reason why they can jump right into our community and take it over, we don't see Chinese or Asians as competition.
You know,
think about that.
Brother Lewis, you're hitting a lot of powerful notes, brother. You know, right on point. I want to direct to a couple of the comments, because we have a couple comments on Facebook, and I just want to kind of share, because one of them lines right up with your initial question and what your response was, Brother John. But brother, I just want to point out, give a shout out to Brother Jamal Shabazz. I don't know if y'all know Brother Jamal. I met him one Savior's Day years and years ago. He's a photographer, but a famous photographer who has recorded and documented some of the most powerful history of our people throughout Harlem, the hip hop movement. Brother's phenomenal photographer. Yes, you know, and I'm just very happy to have him on, because I consider him one of those famous, you know, heroes that we have in the Black community. Because if it's not in a picture, if we don't record it on the video, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Right. So he's one of these brothers that I really admire for what he's done. He said, brothers still sharpen steel and men sharpen men. Also, Brother Assad made a comment here on, he said, Brother Assad, another soldier from the Midwest, I believe this is my brother. He said, what I want for my brother, what I want for myself. He said, one thing I want for my brother is a peace of mind. He said, I want for my brother money, homes, friendship in all walks of life. He said, you see, one of the things that hold us back from real true brotherhood is envy. Go ahead, brother, teach. He said, brothers will hate and envy you over the woman you have. Brothers will sit and plot to get what you have. The disease of the heart is called envy. Wow. The God man, he said, brother dropping it in you. Brother, the God man, Farrakhan said, true brotherhood begins when you don't want a brother's wife. That's heavy.
Wow.
Drop it, brother. Drop it. Listen, I want to play a clip, brother, because I think it goes to the root of this. And you really hit some heavy points, Brother Lewis, because when you raise that question, it goes right to an unnecessary devil. You see, it speaks actually to a devil that has been manufactured among us. And when it comes to vanity and showing off, You see, this is my brother talking about envy here. One of the roots of envy is when you have brothers who show off. You see, when you start, it's not always just some brother who had the disease. Some brothers can actually stimulate an environment where envy can come about. You see what I'm saying? So if you, every time I pop up and I'm saying, look at me, and every time I'm drawing an unreasonable attention to myself, or if I'm balling out of control, my money up, I'm looking good, I'm fly, and my brother has nothing, he's suffering. I am in violation of the principle of brotherhood because I'm in violation of the principle because I'm showing off. The act of showing off is an act that comes out of Iblis. I am better than he. See, this is at the root of what makes a devil. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said Iblis, or the minister taught us Iblis is one's evil who is confined to self. But he taught us that what happened to Iblis, he grew into a devil. Now he's starting to do harm to others. That's when you know you're dealing with a devil. So when a brother is out flagging and showing off, then he's acting as a devil. A real brotherhood, when he reaches a level of success, he's humble. He should be humble about what he has, especially in the face of his brothers, because he don't ever want his brother to feel less than he. In fact, if he can have a way, he shares his success with his brothers because he loves his brother and he doesn't want his brother to be without. But I want to play this clip, brothers, because I thought it was very, very significant to what we're talking about. If you all don't mind and will indulge me just a moment, because it speaks right to this, and I think you'll appreciate it when I play it. Here, let me see if I get it on. I think I got my system together here. Can you all see that?
Yeah, I can see it on the screen. Django.
Can y'all see this?
It's showing the zoom now. Yeah, okay, I can see it now. Can't hear audio though.
You can't hear the audio? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Can you not hear the audio, brothers? No audio? Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna play. I want to play it then. Can you hear the audio now? Okay, hold up then. I'm gonna play it differently. Yeah, because I just thought this scene was so significant. It speaks right to what we're talking about. It's the scene in the Django where Samuel Jackson was playing the uncle. We call him Uncle Tom, the coon, whatever the buffoon. And I want to play it for you here. And I just think it's significant, brothers, because it's something very scientific in the programming of Black men and Black people, particularly in this scene that's brought out. So I'm gonna play it here. I'm gonna play the audio so you can hear the audio. And
my boy. Yeah. Hello, my ass. Who this nigga up on that name? Oh, Stephen, you have nails for breakfast. What's the matter? Why you so ornery? You miss me? Huh? Oh, yes, sir. I miss you like a hog miss flop, like a baby. Miss Mammy Titty. I miss
he's talking
you
to the white man now.
I miss a rock in my shoe. I asked you, who this nigga on that name? It's Snowball. Wanna know my name or the name of my horse? You ask me. That's who the hell you calling Snowball, horse boy? I'll snatch your black ass off that nag down here in the mud so fast make your head. Steven. Let's keep it funny. Django here is a Freeman. This nigga here? That nigga there. Let me at least introduce the two of you. Django, this is another cheeky black bugger like yourself, Steven. Steven, this here's Django. You two ought to hate each other. Calvin, just who the hell is this nigga you feels the need to entertain? Django and his friend in gray here, Dr. Schultz, are customers. And they are our guests, Stephen. And you old decrepit bastard ought to show them every hospitality. You understand that? Yes, sir. Him, I understand, but I don't know why I got to take lip off this nigga. You don't have to know why. Do you understand? Yes, sir. I understand. Oh, good. Let's spend the night. Go up in the guest bedroom to get too ready. He gonna stay in the big house? Stephen, he's a slaver. It's different. In the big house? Well, you got a problem with that? Oh, no, I ain't got no problem with it. If you ain't got no problem with burning the bed, the sheets, the pillowcase, everything else when this black-ass motherfucker. Now, that is my problem. They are mine to burn. Now, your problem right now is making a good impression. And I want you to start solving that problem right now and get them goddamn rooms ready. Yes, sir, Mr. Candy. Go on now. Can't believe you brought a nigga to stay in the big house. Your daddy rolling over in this goddamn grave right now. Nigga in the getting worse and worse.
Oh my God, man. I am boiling with laughter on the inside. I'm not laughing because I'm laughing at I'm laughing at how well this brother played this role. He played this role masterfully because this is at the root. This is a root example of the level of self-hatred that we have been programmed to have for each other. It goes right to what you raised as a question. This brother up on the mare, he can't appreciate the brother on the horse because this represents authority and status. It represents success because it represents independence and power. So he immediately comes out and he starts kissing the backside of the slave. He starts praising the slave, how happy he is to see it. See, it's something in that I just wanted to play that because it shows that this is at the root of the sicknesses that we have for each other. The love of those who have mistreated us has caused us to now stand as armor bearers on behalf of the enemy in our own destruction, in our own demise. I don't know if y'all brothers could read into what I'm trying to display here, but I just think it's something very powerful in what happened in that scene that is really systemic and happens over and over again in the Black community. It happens in the entertainment world now, music industry. It happens where we got Black people who are promoted, who are doing the work of the oppressor. You see what I'm saying? And then you got some of us who are sitting on the sideline jealous. Now you got, Sean Combs and got caught up. So you got, he ain't no good. Michael Jordan just now did something picking up a boy's shirt. So everybody is attacking Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan, he's a perfect, throw his shoes away. Look how quick we run and rush to judgment when it comes to our own. Brother Lewis, you want to jump in there?
Oh, man, brother, that scene really made me understand why when you leave the military from a theater of war, the importance of a debriefing. I was in Desert Storm and John was in the Marine Corps. Well, when you leave the military now, you can't come straight home. You got to go to the Air Force. You got to go to Dover. And if you've been in war, you have to get a debriefing. You stay there for a significant time period. See? No one else ever debriefed us from slavery and a slave mentality. That was in Jingo, but believe it or not, there are many, many brothers and sisters that act just like that in 2026. And they don't want you to own or have any level of freedom.
That's right.
You can go into a restaurant with a suit on, and maybe the white waitress will treat you with more respect than the Black one. This is sad.
Sad.
But it's because they have not gone through the debriefing process. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, this is why people should never say that we are not true Muslims. They have no idea what has happened to us to put us in the position that we are in terms of psychologically stripping us of all identity and then programming us to be dependent slaves with a slave mentality. Most slaves are angry to see you looking like you own something. It's real. What he just done,
Yes.
it's real in 2026.
Right today.
To where something comes over them. If your heart has not been scrubbed by the Fuller's soap,
come on,
that identifies
teach
this behavior in the mosque, oh God, I just thank God for the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
And even those who didn't join the Nation of Islam, the peripheral effect of the Nation of Islam. Think about it. There was a time when all Christians would argue with you if you tried to put up a black Jesus. It was the teaching of the Nation of Islam that changed that. No one was wearing their hair natural. They didn't do that. And even the way we call each other brothers and shake hands and hug and greet one another, they didn't greet like that. That's the Farrakhan, that's the Elijah effect on Black America in the debriefing session that you go through. Like when you go join the nation, you all will bear me witness. You can't become a registered member without going through processing, and they really should call it debriefing, where we throw away the slave diet. How you going to change a people eating hog mugs and fatback and chitlins and guts and pig ears? They fed us pig ears and guts and pork chops, a cat, a rat, and a dog, genetically modified filth eater, and you would eat that from the plantation and not be ashamed to say that you're a hog eater in 2026, eating something with worms in it? If I told them, hey, you eat a German Shepherd, they would be offended. But right. You're eating a cat, a rat, and a dog, and got the nerve to say, okay, well, I'm going to put some pigtails in my red beans, and you can just eat around it. See, this debriefing that you get from the Nation of Islam, these teachings help to purify us from a slave mentality. If you still want to be a slave and you've heard a little of the teachings of the minister, you're not yet resurrected. We're not yet resurrected. Abusive to women. Look at how he talked in front of the woman. And later on in the movie, he's spying on the woman. He don't believe that black woman has no value. That's how deep this thing goes on we must first be brothers, Brother Mike.
It really is, Brother Lewis, and his character, and I'm coming to you, Brother Hoyle. And I see we got Brother Darrell. I'd love to hear you weigh in, Brother Darrell. And Jay, you know, I think it's a Brother B. I don't know who you are, but please come from behind that sycamore tree. We'd love to hear from you and get your participation on the call. It's so important. I want to read something from one of the brothers. He said, even the Bible, Brother Matt Thompson, big love to you, Brother Matt. He said, even the Bible says we need to do for ourselves first, then help others. Help our own first. I'm 100% in agreement with you, Brother Matt. Powerful, my brother, from the H2O, the H2OO. That's hometown love right there. You know, but Brother Hoyle, and then I would love to hear from you, Brother Jay, and then Brother Inspiring Portraits. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Beautiful.
Wa alaikum salam, brother.
I was thinking about the teachings, and this is my assessment. Really, the only way we're going to really eradicate envy is separation. You know, if you go to the teachings, the devil made them fight and kill one another. As long as we're amongst this devil and his vibration and his, you know, because he works day and night to keep us. You know, he studies us. When we're sleeping, he studies. He keeps the game with the trap music. What do you think about this? You know, LeBron, Kobe. LeBron and Michael Jordan. They're nitpicking and finding something to put on social media where we can be back and forth with one another. And this is something Brother Jabril said about envy, brothers. He said, envy is sneaky. It wears many faces or disguises. Have you ever considered that it is all but impossible to depict the person posing as him or herself in a picture in a manner that tells any viewer that the person is envious? If you were to draw an envious person, how would that person look? Why is that so hard? The reason is due to the fact that envy in the person cannot be detected apart from the person's relation to one he or she envies. Envy is an emotion that is directed towards another. Without the other, a target or victim, envy cannot happen. You can show fear, happiness, anger, or grief, for example, far more easily that you can show envy in such as pictures, sculptures, etc. It is not easy to portray the state of mind of a person who despises another for having a reputation or having some skill, which is which the envier not only lacks to some degree, but who would also rejoice at others' loss of such assets. Through that loss would not mean a gain for the envier. So I believe with circumstances, brother, God is going to have to whip us into love. And we're looking at a war that could pop off this weekend. You know, it's happening. It's going to happen.
That's
and
real.
when that happens, brother, and I talk about this all the time. We talk about it amongst brothers, Brother Lewis, John, even on the show. We got to get prepared. When they fight, when they cut off the Straits of Hormuz, the gas is going to shoot up, and that's going to be a trickle down effect. Okay, what if we can't get the trucks moved? Okay, we're going to depend on the Brother Lewis to for his land, or some brothers a farmer. You know, we're gonna have to depend on our family members. Like I say, how the family is fragmented. This family haven't spoken to each other. You know, brothers and sisters are envious of one another. Can't come together when the funeral. They fighting over somebody's truck or somebody's belonging in the funeral. You know, over some foolishness. You know, and God, and the person, Master Muhammad, is gonna stop all of this. Black Muhammad say he's gonna bring the hearts of the fathers to the children. How does that go, brother? Michael, help me out.
Hearts of the children to the father, turn the hearts of the father to the children.
So we're gonna see this. So envy, I say envy is gonna have to come through a whipping. Yeah, it's gonna be eradicated where we're gonna love one another. Because right now, as long as we're amongst this devil and separation, as long as we're amongst this devil, we got to get away from him because we're in this vibration.
Right.
That's why. We talk about the wheels another time. Why this thing got to burn for 690 years? It got to burn the ether. Sister Ava say he got to burn the ether. This devil's so wicked. But that's another subject for another time. But
yes, sir. We're definitely going to build on that too, because we got to get into that zone. I want to say this before I transition to Brother Jay. I'd love to hear from you next, brother. But I just want to make sure our brothers who are listening, you know, we are. You have a strong presence of the nation, but I want brothers from whatever walk of life that may be tuning in feel welcome to weigh in. We're talking about brotherhood, and I promise you, I don't care if whether you are a brother in the Hebrew nation, whether you are a Mason brother, whether you are, 5% brother, you know what, brother, if you are a street brother, hell, some of the ministers said that's some of our first alignment with brotherhood was coming off the block. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if you can weigh in. I just don't want brothers to feel like they can't tap in, because the whole purpose and agenda that we have here is for the whole of our Black brotherhood. We gotta connect, man. We gotta lock in. If I'm talking and I'm speaking a language that you don't know, then I'm not being effective. And my prayer to the God is, hey, I want to be effective. I want to talk to Black men. I don't give a darn what your walk of life. I got brothers that are Christian. I got brothers that are Muslim. I got brothers who are coming from every walk. Vice Lord. I know brothers GD. I done dealt with brothers who are Crips. You know what I'm saying? I've walked across a lot of lines, and to me, there is a common thread when you tap in with a real brother. You see? So we need to, and I'm just saying this for the purpose of welcoming and keeping the welcome open, because we want to make sure that we make room, as the scriptures say, make room in your assembly. So Brother Jay, Use that mic.
Yeah, Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam, brother.
Yeah, I just been listening.
Yes, sir.
You know, I appreciate the elders and good brothers for putting this space together. Because I believe you gotta do what you can do. You
Yes,
know
sir.
what I mean? With what you
Yes,
can
sir.
do. You can't sit
Yes.
around and wait on nothing or nobody. So
Yes.
it don't matter if it's 9 or 99 of us. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
What
That's right.
matters who showed up. And Minister Farrakhan, he said, self-discipline is self-love.
That's right.
You know what I'm talking about? So I
That's
think
right.
that's where the brotherhood really start.
Preach, black man.
Because, I mean, we could be in here all night, when you start to trickle down everything.
Yes.
But a lot of time you don't have that structure at the house.
Yes. That's right.
Saying,
That's right.
so if you don't have nobody teaching you, you know, it's not to say that that's the end all be all, but sometimes you gotta go out and seek it. That's the mind frame I've always had,
Yes.
for good or for bad. You know what I mean?
Yes. That's right.
But if not, not everybody's a self-starter, self-motivator. So that's why, the elder brothers like yourself is so important
Yes.
because many of us, especially the younger generation, they're not as gullible as a lot of people. So seeing is believing.
Yes.
That's back to what the brother
Facts.
was saying. But you can't tell somebody something not to do if you don't have a substitute or a replacement for them. Especially with this generation, they're not trying to hear all that.
That's right, brother. That's
So
right.
you
That's
gotta
right.
you gotta focus on what you can do, as
Yes.
opposed to
Yes.
what this brother doing wrong, or that's why you getting treated like this because your
Come on.
pants down. This you
Come
gotta meet
on.
them where they at.
Meet them where they at. Teach, brother.
You understand? Like you said,
Yeah.
Crip blood, whatever. That's all labels at the end of the day.
Yes. Yes.
God don't care nothing but what gang you claiming you get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? He don't care what tribe you from. He see the color of your skin.
Yes. That's
And
right,
that's,
brother.
you know what I mean?
That's
So,
right. That's right.
um, and a lot of times, we can think ourselves out of a situation or into a situation.
Mm.
I was always taught on side the road ain't the time to really, fight for your life. You trying to make a point to a person
Come
that,
on.
it don't really make sense. You gotta make it back home. You know what I mean?
Make
You
it
gonna
on.
talk about getting that bag and chasing the sack and all these things they saying now. You gotta be smart enough to make it back home.
Make it home.
I mean, you trying to die for nothing on side the
Yes.
road.
Come
I
on.
know I wasn't speeding.
Come on. Come
He
on.
know that too. You know what I mean? He trying
Yes,
to get
sir.
you for something. You got to be smart enough.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
get deep. You know what I mean? Because a
Yes.
lot of the drugs and the alcohol, all these different things is, we don't really understand how it's affecting us.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
And that's why, like what I was saying, that the minister says self-discipline is self-love.
Yes.
Because, a lot of times we don't even know what love is.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? I'm speaking for myself once upon a time,
Yes.
because the opposite of love is what?
Hey. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you say to yourself, I don't hate myself, well, I must love myself, right? No, that's not
That's
true.
right. Come on, brother.
You know what I mean? You got to go on that journey,
Teach.
to know what that, and a lot of that is solitude. I was listening to the brother Noor Muhammad today, and he said
Yeah.
something very, very true. That's like really, it goes hand in hand with Ramadan. You
Yes.
know, um, he said solitude and alone is not the same.
Mm.
'Cause a
Mm.
lot of people are just alone, but you
Yes.
still distracted by these worldly things on
Yes.
Instagram and
Yes.
you know just pointless conversations. If we being honest,
Yes.
who better, Kobe,
That's right.
like
Yes.
you still messed up. You
Yes.
still wanted a job you hate. You
Yes.
know what I mean? You still complain about the white man. You're not doing nothing about it.
Come on.
You know what I mean? When you got brother Lewis on here telling you, "Hey, brother, I can help you out." You know what I'm saying? Oh, nah, I don't know about that, man. I heard this and that about him, and that,
Come on.
just playing. Like it's funny, but it's not.
You're right.
Because
Yes, sir.
you got wanted bad enough.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's just one component of it. then your morality's got to be in line.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I think all of us then, you know, probably fell victim to some of the worldly things out here, the women, you know, the alcohol, drugs, whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
But that's back to what I'm saying. You got to want to seek difference. You know, you got to want to seek to do better in life. If not, you throw in the towel. You know what I mean? You stay on the hamster
Right.
wheel, the rat race. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you give up.
Yes.
You're not a warrior. You're not a fighter.
Come
You
on.
got to fight
Come
to
on.
the end.
Fight to the end.
You know what I'm saying? So,
The hood.
but all of it ties in to one, you know, belief in self. If you don't believe in yourself, how you could believe in somebody else? If you believe in somebody else, that's external validation.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
that's not self-love.
Come on.
Oh, so I mean, but what do I know? That's what I
Well,
always
you
say.
know,
But what do I know?
you're dropping bombs, God. You're
Yeah.
dropping bombs,
So
brother. Thank you so much,
yeah,
brother, because
no
brother,
problem, bro.
you hit so many beautiful, just such beautiful, the resonance, brother, of your voice and the delivery of what Allah put through you is just absolutely beautiful, and it produces a hope. You know, the minister said the future is about the youth, you know, and you certainly represent that, and you represent it in the way,
Right.
in the context of what the minister was
Thank you.
saying, you know, brother. So I appreciate that. I appreciate your wisdom as a young man. So just imagine as you get more and more seasoned, how powerful and dynamic you will be. So thank you. And thank you for weighing in and tapping in with us, brother,
No
because
problem.
we got to keep tapping in on all levels, brother. You know, and I remember I don't know how old you are, but I remember coming into this rank as a young man, you know, and I found salvation, you know, which is
Mm,
safety from destruction. I really appreciated what you said when you said when you're on the side of the road, man, you know, your objective is to get home, you know, and I think that carries a tone all the way across the board. When you look at the condition of black people, black men, we on the damn side of the road right now. You know, we have to pull together, pull our resources, pull our intellect, so we can get to our truest self, a home for ourselves. Inspiring portraits in the building. I want to tap in with you. And then I see Brother Daryl 7X. So we know you've been in the masjid, but we want to hear from our brothers. Brother Inspiring.
I'm late getting on, so I don't have anything to say. I'm
All right.
going to use my ears.
That's cool. Well, we just love to hear your voice. We just
You
want to
know,
hear
you
your
know who
voice.
that is, right, brother Mike?
Who is that? Who is that, Brother John? Bring him up. I can't see him. He back behind the sycamore tree in that shadow. I can't.
The brother I
Oh,
introduced you to, that also does poetry when he came to Houston, remember?
Okay.
okay.
Okay. All
That's
right. It's been a minute.
it has
Yeah.
been.
It's a
Yeah.
pleasure, brother.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much, brother, for
All right.
tapping in and just your presence, man. You know, I'm only calling brothers, you know, to the forefront just to hear your voice. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? Just to hear the voice of a black man is a blessing, brother. You know,
Right.
Brother Hoyle said something earlier about just being lonely. Black men, we can be morbidly lonely. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate circumstances of the world we live in has made us so disunited. You know, so the vibration of a voice of a brother has power, you know, in it. And so I was listening to the young brother Jay, you know, I'm like, you hear this resonance in this brother's voice, you hear this vibration, that's a frequency. And every black man has a frequency that we give off when we communicate, when we
Right.
talk, when we express ourselves. It's not even about how low your voice is. It's a resonance of that life that you have lived, that path that you have trodden with your life to this point, you know. So that's what we hearing. We hearing the ancestors, you know, we hearing all kinds of things come through. So I appreciate you being on the call, tapping in, brother. That means the world to us. Brother Daryl 7X, you gonna come out from behind the sycamore tree, brother? And then I see Brother Marcus. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Right. I
Is that
jump
our
in
brother
right quick.
Marcus? Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. One of the things, the reason why we as brothers, we stay small and so divided is because there's an addiction to being the one. We want to be the man. I mean, every leader, everyone that has tried to show us or whatever, even for a small group or nationally, internationally, there's always somebody sitting there looking at them going, he ain't tall enough. He ain't short enough. He too short. He too dark. He too light. Look how he stands. So it's still that competition, but wanting to be the one instead of being us, that's what caused the problem. I mean, you see it all day long in Africa. We've seen it all day long. I'm quite sure Brother Toure going through it right now. So, and they're trying to pull it up to where they want somebody to look at him and say, well, yeah, he's doing this, but I can do it better. Or I should be the president of Burkina Faso. Or I should be this. I should be the head of this organization. I should be head of that, or whatever it is. That addiction of being the one and being it has always caused us the downfall of black men and the brotherhood. Simple as that.
Simple as that. Brother Jay.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of piggyback off the, what the brother was saying. A good brother of mine, said a quote to me that always stuck with me. He said, we want to make power moves, but we don't know how power moves. You know what I'm saying?
Powerful.
So,
powerful.
And that kind of ties back into the self-love and what you guys touched on when the call first started. So that may be the next one we need to do. You know what I mean? Self-love.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Because
yes,
it
sir.
peels back so many layers of self, right? Because, where you have love, you don't really have insecurity issues. And that's kind of what that go into. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Brother Lewis, man, he doing his thing over there. I wonder if he get more money than me because I'm not secure with what I got going on. So now I'm counting the brother.
That's true. That's true.
So two really can't coincide in the same existence, in the same place, if you will.
Absolutely. I want to say this, and I think you want to tap in, Brother Lewis, but I want to say this, and this is a part of the system of Satan, and that is he's the one that pushes this icon mindset. The one. There is a one that we know that God will use, a one that will get the masses, but that one that he will use to get the masses elevates the masses into oneness. You see, as we say in Arabic, Kul Allah ahad, say he, Allah is one. So there's a oneness that comes in the divine sense, but in the enemy's world, he's always making an icon. So there's can only be one superstar. But when we look at Allah's universe, we look at the sky, we see a constellation of many stars, of many beautiful stars, some brighter than others. Some have a different elevation, some hotter, some burning out, some are not even any longer in existence. They've already burned out, and all we're seeing is the light that came from them once upon a time, So it's so important for us to realize that that's a trick. That is a trick. There can be multiple. And the minister said this one time. He said, I'm a facilitator. He said, I'm a facilitator. That means that I am creating this environment. I am bringing a teaching to you to bring about an elevation of multiple brothers that will reflect their gifts, and sisters that will reflect their gifts and their talents. That's what we have to, that's how we have to start thinking. We have to start thinking in a more collective manner. Brother Lewis, did you want to weigh in, brother?
Man, that brother, I don't know how Brother Jay is, but that's a sharp fighter.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank Allah for you, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I wish you great success.
Thank you.
Me too.
We gotta find our way to one another. And if you didn't create this platform, Brother John and Brother Michael, I wouldn't get to see Brother Jay. And trust and believe he's an inspiration to me.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Some of us as older men, we some hating people because we slick hate on the youth. That hurts me to say that.
Teach, brother. Teach.
Yeah, we don't want to give up the position.
We can't keep pace. So what you do is you put up obstacles, and you could help that young man go far. I remember Brother Rockman was teaching the FOI class, and anybody know anything about Big Rock from the South? Man, Minister Farrakhan sent them around to teach us. And we stayed in the mosque. I mean, it's like late hours of the night. He teaching Rockman style FOI class. We didn't went through the drills. We didn't done all of that. And he up there teaching now. And he talked about his encounter with the great then Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali. He was singing Minister Farrakhan's song, "A White Man's Heaven is a Black Man's Hell." Mm-hmm. And Rockman was out there with the Final Call, which is the greatest newspaper ever, that in the Muhammad Speech. So if you don't have your subscription or you hadn't heard of it, be sure to get a copy of it. But brother approached Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali started singing Minister Farrakhan's song, "Why Are We Called Negro?" And Rockman, you know, in that Southern swine, he said, "Oh man, I see you hip to the teachings." And so he said, yeah, he said, well, Ali had a little thing, and it was in the newspaper because he was already following the fights, how Ali had smacked around in sparring the then champ. And he told Rockman that he was going to be the champion of the world. And Rockman looked at the little flyer that Ali, then Cassius Clay, gave him. And he looked at him and he said, "I believe this boy can be the champion if I look out for him."
Come on.
So when you see a young fighter with fire in him, don't you go be a hater and try to
come on.
fire out. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he wanted fire in us.
Yes.
But he didn't want the fire to be destructive. He wanted to channel that energy.
That's right.
And even when we're disciplining our little boys, you should never beat the fire out of your boys.
Teach.
They broke your rules. Correct them, but keep that fire in the black man.
That's right. That's right.
Channel the fire into something constructive so that we can build a reality for our people. You see young people today, a lot of older men hate on them. Mm-hmm. You don't want to teach them nothing. So what we got to understand is each of us, the minister is the door. That's and the Quran says, "I, Allah, am the best knower." Yet it says, "And we created this and that. And we created this and that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're entering the we era of Islam. We're empowered by the messianic figure, but we're going to have to do it his way to get into the house of peace, the house of God. Now, we had a great demonstration of a life. May God bless the family of the Reverend Jesse Jackson and spare them not the reward for his deeds. But we got to see how Minister Farrakhan loved someone who he didn't always have the same ideas as. I got to say this because it's a teachable moment.
Yes.
See, when someone has a different idea than you, you don't have to make the attack personal, because that person who has a different idea than you is still your brother, Brother Mike.
Absolutely.
He loved Brother Reverend Jesse Jackson. Minister Farrakhan did. When we have people who have a different idea than us, how do we treat them? Do we put them out the mosque? Do we hope that they fall out the ranks? Do we put them out the church? Do we put them out the organization? Not because they were disrespectful, just because they had a different idea than us. Mm-hmm. So the way you handle one another, the way you handle the young man, we've been young men. I could dunk the basketball at one time. I really could. I can't do it now. But if you're coaching young people, but Zaya can, you understand what I'm saying? There's a way to coach young people And you know what? I believe, particularly young black boys, they might seem like they're disrespectful, but usually with my encounters with them, I've found them to be much more respectful than many of the people who claiming that they're disrespectful. They just don't like it when you BS them, Brother Michael. You heard me? And they're very direct about BS. They don't, young people don't like hypocrisy. And that's what I mean by BS. I mean bull stuff. It's Ramadan, okay?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
when you start spewing that fake news out to young people don't have time for that. They don't have the patience that we have when you know somebody's fake news and you know. But if you're trying to help a young person, I have found, particularly with black boys, that most of the time they will show some respect and they will listen because you're trying to serve them, Brother Michael.
That's
You're trying
right.
to give them something.
That's right. You know, and let me jump in there, and that might come right to you, Brother Daryl. I see you done popped in, black man. Appreciate you popping in, brother. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But I want to say this before I transition to you, especially as it pertains to young people. This is one of the reasons why even in our fold, we have to be transparent. We lose our young people because we're not creating appropriate environment and space for them to evolve and to grow. They have new ideas growing in them. They're not going to be the same. You know, they're not going to be the same as maybe an old follower of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They're not going to be. They got to come with
They're
new
abrogated.
ideas. Absolutely, it's a new
They're
man been made. Yeah, absolutely. I was listening to some brothers. It was a Savior's Day, I guess it was. They were hosting, you know, from the Imam's followers, and I just happened to be tuning in this morning after prayer because I'm a student, you know. So that I'm a student. I needed to listen, and I want to say, and I really appreciated their delivery. I appreciate the brothers' delivery. Very tasteful, very powerful. You know, it was honoring the Savior in the way that they could, in the way that they believe, you know, and of course, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But one of the things that brother was saying that I totally agree with, he said, we are a new man in America. The black man in America is a new man. We're not like any other people on the planet Earth. So if you understand what that means, that says that our sojourn has created a substance that's produced something very unique in us that separates us from the whole world. One of the reasons why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us that we will help rule the planet again. That's why the God came to us, because we were the right material after going through all that we have gone through. Now, where am I going with this? With the young people. So that means that every generation that is coming out of us is stronger, is much stronger. They're getting, I see it in my children. I see it in my sons. I see it in my daughter. I hear it in them. I hear the resident, and I'm in agreement with you, Brother Lewis. We got parents saying, shut up. You can't use that old slavery methodology on young people today. They're not cut that way. You have to come to them with a level of respect, but more than that, more than this respect, because you can chastise me. I ain't afraid of none of them. I'll never be that. But my point is, it's a level of respect for their intelligence. That's what I'm talking about. Don't try to dumb them down using old methodology. You shut up and listen to me, and you run them off the corner instead of approaching them with the intellect that they have, because they're gonna rebel. They're not made to submit to that slave teaching and that slavery methodology. You see, so my point is that as we are new people, and I still consider myself young, bro, no doubt. You know, I probably give Jay a little bit of off the block. I'm gonna get him off the block for about a half or 2 or 3 steps. I'm gonna get you off the block for about 2 steps, Jay. You're gonna get me after that. But look, my point is we have to uplift the young mind today and tap in with them all the way across the board and honor that. Brother Daryl, I see you on the call, brother. Brother Daryl 7X. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, brothers.
Wa alaikum salam, brother. Yes, sir.
This is a yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is a wonderful forum. It's the first time I come on here. I was invited by Brother John, and it's really good. You know, like the young brother that spoke earlier, I'm just listening and taking it all in. And I could share a story yesterday, what happened, and try to tie it in with the teachings a little bit. Yesterday, I went to the post office, and a I walked in. I noticed a couple people, but they were towards the door, like filling out labels and preparing their packages to be shipped. And I just walked in. I walked right by him, went step to the first of the line and whatnot. And then when he called for me, the brother that was in front of me, I mean, that was, preparing his boxes and labels with his children. He had 3 children. He walked right in front of me and stuff, and almost caused a situation. And but the post office guy said, "Hey, brother, you got to do this. Stand to the side." And then they brought me to the front. But when I replayed that scene over and over in my mind, listening to you guys and whatnot, I asked myself, in trying to take accountability, what could I have done to have prevented a situation that could have been nothing but ego, right, and pride. And earlier, one of the brothers spoke about complimenting. He complimented a brother and whatnot, and how that brother responds is an indication of what type of brother that would be. And so that I see that as a solution. What I could have done yesterday. I have to be honest. I didn't grow up with all this social etiquette, or especially brotherly social etiquette. I don't have those kind of skills. Yeah. But just learning, I could have walked in and said, "Man, brother, you got a beautiful." What if I walked in and said, "Brother, young brother, you got a beautiful family"? What kind of atmosphere that would have created? I heard the minister say in a lecture one time about we carry an atmosphere about ourselves. He said the earth has an atmosphere. So you don't believe me? Fall into it and see what happens. Like you'll burn up. But what if I had walked in and, "Hey, man, you got a beautiful family," then walked up to the front of the line? Would he have been as contentious then? So I'm just thinking about brotherly principles, setting the tone, trying to create a better environment, and taking accountability. So
beautiful.
That's all.
Beautiful, brother. And go ahead.
No, that's it. That's basically it, bro. I'm just listening. I'm enjoying this. I'm like, man, this is so good.
It is a blessing. It is a blessing, brother. Thank you so much for your words, brother, and even the example that you shared, brother, is phenomenal, because those are the practical examples of what we need to share to show how in those moments. You are 100% right, and I work on that same thing of being able to find that moment, of where that opportunity, we can seize the opportunity to be a brother. And it really shocks people when you do that. It shocks them when you say, "Hey, brother, you sharp, brother. You sharp."
Yeah.
See, you go to a black man, you say, "You sharp, brother." He know he's sharp, and he stepped out. The black man can get clean. So the brother clean. Yeah. Let the brother know he clean. Don't hold back. Looking at you think that, no, brother, you clean, brother. I love how you put that together. You really put some thought together, man, with that.
Yes, sir. And to add to that, like, I came in clean yesterday. My beard grown back, but yesterday I was clean shaven, had my long sleeve shirt on, jeans, everything out the cleaners press clean. And I probably projected a spirit of arrogance or something that made the brother even feel like he had to defend some, to make him feel contentious. But in my mind, I try to justify it initially because I said, I've been living on here for years. Whenever I went to the post office and had stuff to do before I could get in the line, it was my understanding that whoever came in after me, they had the right to just go to the front and I just have to wait because I can't be told in the line like that, right? Either my packages is ready or they're not. And so I thought the same thing would happen, but I just listened to you guys today and just trying to put it in together, like, oh, that would have done it. Yes. Complimented the brother or just spoke to the brother. Man, nice family. That would have diffused all of that.
Brother, thank you so much, brother. This is what we're here for, brother, right here. What you just said is what we're here for, because we have to change the culture, change the language. We have to be disruptive about changing the culture and the language amongst each other as brothers. You know what I'm saying? We have to be very intentional. I see one of my great brothers on another up and coming giant, and I mean that from my soul. I just seen him tap in. That's my brother Bilal there, brother. Come on, tap in, brother. Come on, tap in. I see when I tell you a brilliant young brother, brilliant young brother. Welcome to come.
Peace to the guys. How's everybody tonight?
We're doing well, brother.
Doing well. Good to see you, brother.
Praise be to Allah. Likewise, good to be seen.
Yes, sir. Yes.
No, I've been watching from Facebook live for some of the past few weeks, and brother Mike and John both know I love just what we doing here with we must first be brothers.
Yes.
It was a point that I came back in on when we were speaking about the elders and the youth that is very important, I think, in reference to even gathering more of the youth into this type of conversation.
Yes.
Right. We got to.
It is a level of I think a lot of, because there's so much information available now, you can't just say something and not either show them or prove it to them, or let them experience it for themselves. Yeah. I know for me personally, thanks to the framework of the nation, thanks to my father and my parents and my grandparents, nothing is true unless I experience it myself as the truth. So truth to me is what I actually go out and experience and what I see with my own eyes, with my own effort, with my own intelligence, that no, that's 1000% true.
Yes.
If I've been locked in a box my whole life and you tell me the sky is blue, I can believe you, or I can walk outside and see the sky is blue. And now it's the truth to me. Yes. But if I've been in a box my whole life, I've never been taught to see or taught to hear, taught to taste, taught to, feel all those different things. It's all just information, and there's a lot of information going around today which can't always just be proven true. We call it a stupid saint, somebody who just knows a whole bunch of stuff but has no being to actually actualize it and make it a reality. But no, it's a very beautiful teaching that we got going on amongst the brothers. I've always had just an affinity towards great men because I was raised in the nation. So all my uncles are y'all.
Right.
Truth be told, my father is y'all. My brothers, if any of you brothers in Chicago, my brother was captain out there for a few, brother Idris. So it's right my again when it comes to attaching the youth to this type of teaching, it's going to take not only a dialogue, but an open dialogue, a transparent dialogue, to where a man and a boy can now connect through the proper passage, the right passage into manhood.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot of ideas of what we think, the world is like, but y'all have the proof of what the world is like. Y'all have seen the change. Y'all have seen the evolution throughout the years, just continue to grow and see where Black people are now at. But no, I really do appreciate this. Every time I hear the brothers speaking and building, it definitely does something to me, and the gods is working,
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Whether we see it or not, the gods is working, because it looks different now.
Yes.
It just looks different now. We have to be okay with it looking different.
Yes. Yes.
Like what Jay was saying, it's as long as you got a self-love and you know what you come from, you know what you are. That the first religion is the knowledge of self. That was one of the most ancient religions, was to know thyself.
So yes.
And until I know myself, I can't go into the world and do anything. I can't act from myself, because I have no idea who I am. I don't know what my inclinations are. I don't know what irritates me. I don't know what I'm just out here getting thrown around in the wind. But when I can sit and I can be in any environment, when I can sit and be in any environment and not break, fold, bend, nothing, because I know what I am at the core of me. There's no gaps in it. There's no cracks in it. Preach. And if you do crack, you get FOI.
That's right.
And then that's a crack on you.
Yes.
So that's just where we at with things. And I think a lot of the children, the nation babies, I think a lot of them are looking for freedom of expression, freedom of just being who they are and just acting out. Because you'd be surprised. You'd have artists, you'd have scientists, you'd have nurses and people in all fields who are nation babies, but they gotta kind of put a different coat on. It's like, if I'm a doctor, I gotta put the white coat on, because if I come with the nation all over me, I might not have this job no more. I got to keep the white coat on. But if they knew that they could just be who they are without the certain, I guess, chastisement that comes with it, especially as a youth, because I think a lot of us can be prejudiced in a sense when it comes to dealing with something. Because like you were talking, you see your brother, he got his pants sagging, he got this going on. He might be God.
That's right. That's right, brother. That's right.
He might be on another mission, sitting in the trenches.
Yes. Yes. Teach.
Like a Larry Hoover might be, like some of these brothers, but they doing all this stuff, but they have a mass influence. Like a Kanye, he has a mass influence.
Yes.
He may rap about, his wife having this and that, and she look at it, but look at the Dropout. He's been dropping the minister's name since the Dropout, his first album.
Yes.
And now look at him putting his whole career on the line. He's been called anti-Semite, which is the greatest, achievement that you can get in this world.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you know you're talking truth.
Yes.
And until I was able to get labeled that, then I haven't done my work. And that's how I feel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You'll get there. Keep going, soldier. I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you just said, brother.
Yes, sir.
Everything you said. One thing that stands out to me is when you talk about young people, allowing them to be themselves. I grew up when at the origin of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Brother Lewis, we grew up at the origin of hip hop. And I promise you, self-expression was our rebellion. We was putting on whatever we wanted, boots and beads. We was wearing military, paramilitary gear. We were wearing the black medallions. We were rebelling. I don't know what this mind. I hear it a lot, but I don't have that mind. Thanks to Allah. But this mind where you want to block that expression, we have to break that up, because you're 100% right. Children, young people today are not made to adapt to what is old. They're here to break the barrier, to break pioneer a whole new horizon. So it's going to look disruptive. It's going to look like he want to wear his gear this way. It don't matter. It don't matter if he ain't got on a suit today, if he don't look a certain way. Some of us look that way, and that's okay. We had our assignment that way. But some of our young people will come out in all different forms of expression. And that's a level of maturity that we have to have if we want to connect. Because as soon as you start making that judgment call, you start creating a barrier between you and that brother's mind. But if you allow them to be who they are, as you pointed out, Brother Bilal, so beautifully, now you can at least have a conversation. Like you mentioned Kanye. People can say what they want to say. You have all the opinions in the world. But just the fact that he would drop the minister's name out there, do you know how many millions of young brothers can hear the name of Minister Farrakhan and then maybe go and pick up a lecture later on and grow from that lecture and may save their life like it saved my life? I'm listening to Eric B. and Rakim in the back of a truck. We smoking weed, and I hear all praise is due to Allah. And that's a blessing. With knowledge of self, there's nothing I can't solve. Now, this is what I'm vibing on. You see what I'm saying? And that went into my dome. That went into me. It penetrated me to the fact that I can remember. And then I'm listening to Professor Griff. And then all of the artists that we were growing up listening to, these brothers was teaching us. Didn't matter what we looked like at that point, because we was all rebels. You see what I'm saying? Fear of a Black Planet. That may not be relevant to young brothers today, but that was in our era of being youthful. That was what we were being fed on. It was a rebel, flat tops, gummies. You know what I'm saying? The way we part our hair, the clothes, we were big clothes. Look, we did it all. Guess bibs. We did silk shirts, fat chains, did it all. You see, and had I not been in that modality, had I been caught up in somebody else's idea for me, locked in somebody else's prison for me, then I would have never been exposed to that and never been able to arrive at least where I am consciously at this point in my life today. Were it not for that. So I just think that's so phenomenal. And I appreciate that. I see my sons, they wear their hair different. I'm clean cut, Points I've worn a beard. People look at you now, you're not a believer no more. Come on, bro. You know, come on, get over yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is a military outfit. So if I want to look a certain way militaristically, then I put on a military outfit and look a certain way. But if I'm going amongst the civilians and I want to maneuver amongst the civilian, then I maneuver amongst the civilian. The very God operated on this principle. You see, he came looking like a Caucasian. He came, the scriptures say, in sinful flesh to condemn sin in the flesh. He came under aliases, using names like Ford, because at that time, Henry Ford was a big to-do person, the automobile, the revolution of the automobile industry. You see, so he used methodologies and tactics and maneuvers to get after our people. And we have to be wise enough to do the same thing, get close, and then you can drop the seed, even if it's on a young person. You can't reach them if you're pushing them away. Brother Lewis.
This is really interesting because remember on the seal of the back of the dollar, they were going to put rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. Remember that was on there. So what the enemy likes to do is he knows that each generation of young people are going to have their own expression. And he likes to manipulate the expression and take the expression from rebellion to him into degeneracy against God. It's just something to be kind of mindful of. When someone is intelligent, there is a need to experiment. And sometimes the experimentation, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we were the most intelligent beings because of our level of experimentation.
Yes, sir.
In fact, the scientists who created or made Yaqub, who made the Caucasian, was part of an experiment. He wanted to see if evil could rule good permanently. So he created something. He made something. So, you know, as a parent, there's a balanced way that you monitor experimentation, and we shouldn't take it so personal.
That's right.
When young people want to experiment with themselves and with time during this time period. But it really, truth will prevail if you just give young people the truth. They'll come to their own conclusion how they manifest the truth. And you might have, in your generation, it might have been 3 + 4, but in today's time, it might be just 7 + 0 = 7. Yeah. And so we need to not, take it so personal. Another quick point to brother, is it Brother Daryl? Is that, what was the young man's name? What was your name, good brother? Bilal, Brother Bilal.
Yeah.
See, this is something also with our youth, with our young people. If we build something, the young people will come and help us. But there is a level, it's very difficult to respect someone who was on this planet for a significant amount of time before you got here. And now that they graduated from college and they're a doctor, but they don't have a black hospital to go and practice medicine in. See, that when we don't build nothing, we create an atmosphere where young people, even when they're trying to respect us, it's difficult. And even with our wives,
that's true.
If we don't build anything and we don't try to provide for our women, even good women get tired. So if good women get tired, think about the burden that young people carry. And you beat them down. Oh, that boy ain't gonna do this. And you become the coon and don't even realize it. You become Samuel.
You become Samuel. Yes, sir.
You're there talking bad about this boy, calling him a drug dealer, and he's a this and he's a that, and this one is a that. Well, why didn't you build something to give these young people an opportunity to be part of something rather than be so just judgmental about who's a drug dealer. And why don't you have a clothing line? Why don't you support the clothing line that the young man is trying to create? You see what I'm saying? So I'm a lot harder, I think, on our generation.
Me too.
Because we got so involved in integration and the opportunity to have an overweight Caucasian female until we forgot our young people and our families, man. And if we repent and atone to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and go back to practicing his program, I think you'll see young people with the utmost respect for us.
I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%, brother. You know, we have to build something, you know, and we got a brother. One of our brothers you operate on that frequency, Brother Lewis, you know, with the young people. One of our brothers here at this wonderful shop we have called Media Monsters that I'm broadcasting out of right now. He operates on that principle as a wonderful, wonderful model of that, giving brothers an opportunity. Speaking of art, you can see my brother's art to my back here, back of my brother Bilal's art over here. And he's a phenomenal artist, and he also has a clothing line. You know, so, you know, you're right. We have to create an atmosphere where we support, we give room, we give space for that creativity. And you're right, when we got wisdom, the scriptures say older men for counsel and young men for war. See, so there's an element, once we create the proper environment, then you're right, we can guide our brother. And the brother will look to you for guidance and not necessarily rebel against you when you present yourself as a blocker, but will look to you for guidance, look for you for counsel and how to maneuver and move forward, even as they are being maybe disruptors. And this being a disruptor is not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing when you understand that this world needs to come down and Allah is tearing it down. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said at a certain time, he said that the executors would come. You know, he spoke of this in the theology of time. Who are the executors? He spoke of the young people who would be performing tasks and expressions that we would blow their families and blow their mothers and fathers away. They would be performing gifts that we would never have seen before. If we understand that what we have been given and what we have been exposed to is not just a good teaching, we have been exposed to the mind of God again. We have been blessed to tap back into the originator of the heavens and the earth. We have been blessed to tap into that divine vein of our existence as Black men. That's why this conversation is so important. This movement, we must first be brothers, is so important. As I often mind you and often say, because I always want to make sure you understand where it's coming from. These are words from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. These are not words from your brother. These are words from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that he gets from the God. You see, so these words are very guided. They are missiles. They have a needle on the head, a pin on the head, or a drill on the head of these words that we must first be brothers, because it's tapping us back in. All of the prophets, all of the messengers were teaching elements, aspects of brotherhood. Every one of them. Every light center that you can tap into, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's what Christianity, Islam, whatever light center, whatever that might be, you're going to find at its core, you're going to find some principle of brotherhood. See, so brotherhood, when we properly tap into divine brotherhood, which is our nature as Black men, brother said the knowledge of self. That's where it all starts. That's the first religion. You see? So once we tap into that, then we can understand how powerful this moment and these moments that we're having right now in this discussion really is. This is a powerful moment that's happening, and it's going to be contagious. Those of us on this call, we can look at numbers. I don't even concern myself with that because I'm so big on energy now. You know, I'm so understanding of how powerful thought is. Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us the average speed of thought is 24 billion miles per second. That's the average speed of thought. Then he taught us that light travels at 186,000 miles per second. Sound travels at 1,120 feet per second. Then he taught us that even in sound, there's light that's inside of the sound. So understand that when the sound hits a certain environment, your eardrum, then it explodes into light. Now it's traveling at a greater speed, inspiring and affecting and producing thought. So this is what we're doing. This is a movement, energetically and otherwise, that is way bigger than this call. You know, we're using modern technology, but energetically, you know how it is when you're about to call somebody and you pick up the phone and they're already there. The phone didn't even ring. And you say, I was just about to call you. See, you tapped in. You tapped into, we do this often. You called it, some people called, I had a deja vu and all these moments. No, that's the power of your mind. That's the power of energy, of divine. The black man, can I say it? Can I say it from the mountaintop? Can I say it loud that the black man is God? You see, and that is not a slogan. That is a reality. And we are, as we grow closer to our true self, as we access God more, understand this, brothers, that we will be performing powers and expressing things that we have never thought we could even imagine that we would be able to do. And our young people are going to do that. And some of us are going to tap into that. You understand what I'm trying to say? Listen, you can't sit up here and talk about a universe, as Ambi Elijah Muhammad taught us, 76 quintillion miles in diameter, and then he said it's growing. The universe is growing. We come from that. He taught us a life on 7 of the 9 planets. Why is that important? Because it helps us to expand our awareness and our consciousness and our belief, you see, so that we won't keep ourselves limited to the circumference of thinking controlled or supplied by the diameter of energy and thought that was given to us by our enemy. You see, he gave us these limited views. But once we start tapping in, it's a whole nother thing. I see Brother Leon. You want to tap in, Brother Leon? Yeah, push that phone. Take that mute off, brother. It's a little red button, mute button on. Okay. But so, you know, brothers, so that's where we are, where brothers sorting that out. You know, that's crucial for us to expand our awareness to the point where we believe without limit, without limitation. I believe we got that kind of power. I'm looking at some of our young people today. I talk to some people and they're already tapping in on a whole nother frequency, you know. And brother Hoy, we want to get into the wheels, but we'll get into another conversation. Brother Leon.
Assalamu alaikum.
Happy salam, brother. Happy Savior's Day to you, beloved. Yes, sir.
Ramadan Mubarak, brothers. I just want to get on the phone.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to get on the phone.
You might have to pull over for a second, brother, if it's safe. All right. All right, brothers. All right. Well, anyway, brother, until brother tap back in. You know, anybody else want to weigh in on a thought while we waiting on Brother Leon? Again, I want to thank you, brothers, for participating in this process. Man, this is a beautiful moment that's happening, and this is a beautiful movement. We intend to touch down in different locations. We're not just going to be over the internet. We want to tap in with our brothers around the country and find ways to create these dialogue spaces and movement, and join on with other brothers that are doing things in different cities. There's brothers that are moving and shaking. We have to just unite. We have to unite, tap in, and become the benefactors of our efforts in different spaces around this country, And even though the internet is a very powerful tool, it has also created a little space between us, and we need to close that space from time to time so we can feel each other energetically in person, which just elevates the power, altogether. And we're looking at how we want to build things in our community. We have programs, even what We Must First Be Brothers. We have programs that are specifically designed to work with young brothers, and there's other brothers that are doing this. There's another brother, I'm trying to get him to tap in with us. He has a wonderful program in working with young people. It's a brother out of Milwaukee that I've been tapping in with. Another brother engaged highly in the streets, working with brothers off the block, You know, we got to tap in and see what the formulas brothers are using for success. And then we continue to build upon those successes all the way around. This subject today that we, you know, jump off with, wanting for our brother what we want for ourselves, is a part of, it's a part of a bigger picture, brother, you know, and a broader and a more dynamic and engaged process. That when to want something is to desire it. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that desire is the beginning of everything. You know, so we have to change our whole psyche. I mentioned earlier, we have to change our language. We have to be intentional, and we have to be understanding and also patient with each other. Be patient and understanding with your brother. Don't be so quick to throw your brother under the bus, you know, for lack of a better expression, because he may not be there yet. But we have to be patient with the process of development. But we also have to be very diligent in encouraging it. Brother John?
Yes, sir. Yeah. You just made me think of something that I challenge, you know, we here on here because we must first be brothers. And I'm believing, but you know what belief means? That means I don't really know. Because if I ask you your name, and you say, I believe it's John, that means you don't know. So I want to know. I believe we should all work to do exactly what you said, change that atmosphere. And one way we can change the atmosphere starting with ourselves is, you know, whatever circle we go into, you know, maintain that brotherhood title. So I'm going to ask you who you are. I'm your brother.
That's right.
You know, it's like what Brother Darrell was saying earlier. If he would have just tried something a little bit different, maybe it would have had a different result. So for the next 30 days, try calling yourself brother in every circle. Introduce yourself as a brother to another brother in every circle and see the atmosphere it creates. See what it burns up, see what it gives life to, and see how you connect so that the brotherhood can be what we need to be. Because we as Black men, we have to realize we're on the brink of this world changing. And when I mean changing, I mean change to the point that we're going to have to be relying on each other. And if we haven't built brotherhood among each other in different aspects, who you going to rely on? Who you going to open? I mean, there's probably brothers living right next to us that we have never even said hello to, never even said hi, or what's your name? What's going on? We're getting to the point to where this world is changing so fast. Things are happening so fast. The economic aspect of this world is falling. And no matter how much these people are trying to tell you that America looks good, there's nobody outside America looking in America saying that I'm betting on the USA. Why do you think that all these countries became, now just what you have to realize, when you have countries coming together, like corporations merging, they're merging for what? Safety, brotherhood, e-commerce, commerce, strength. So when you see the BRICS coming together, all these countries coming together, that has to tell you, and then America hasn't joined, that tells you right there that something is coming. Don't we see it? Can we feel it in the atmosphere that there's something coming? Every other creature is moving around, trying to get together, being together, create some type of network and brotherhood. And we sitting around looking at each other talking about, I don't like that. You know, he just got the new Jordans. Those Jordans came out 20 years ago when I had them. So we really got to look around and see that this world is changing. Gold is going up. Silver's going up. A year ago, you could have got silver for $25 an ounce. Try to get it $25 an ounce now and see. So what would make silver goes up to $85 to $300 an ounce? What would make it do that? What would make gold go up to $3,000 an ounce? Are we asking ourselves that? Are we going around looking to see, well, and then can we afford some gold? Huh? If we need to go get some right now, do I have $3,000 to go get 1 ounce of gold? And if my life depended on it? Or $85 to get an ounce of silver? These are things that's happening right around us we're not paying attention to. and it's going to be the downfall of us and the Black community if we, the ones who know and are extending or tuning into this. This is like Brother Mike say, we are trying to, you know, you had that lawnmower in the yard that hadn't been started in a while, and you gotta go crank it. You gotta just keep pulling that rope. Brothers, we pulling this rope, bro. You got the gas, we don't put the oil in it. We just gotta pull it a little bit harder so that we can get it running and do the job we need to do. And that's what We Must First Be Brothers platform is for. We trying to start this engine up to where we can be effective. A smooth, mean fighting machine, fighting in the way that for righteousness.
Absolutely. So, brothers, as we get ready to close out, if anybody would like to make any final remarks, I do want to point out that you can
go get it.
Get a copy of this. You can get it right now on Amazon. We're gonna have some copies on hand real soon, and we'll be able to deliver them directly to you. But this is just a good little tool. It's just a tool. It's 100 key principles, and basically it's that sit down with your son, sit down with your nephew. Give it to a sister that ain't got a man in their life that got boys, where we can become the uncles, but we need to find ways to depart principles with our brothers, and stand on principles. And these are just that. I would call this a growing kind of a book. So it will evolve, but where it is at this particular junction is a very good starting point. If you're interested in getting a copy of this, of course, it's not just about selling a book. For me, the whole mission was about this, what we're doing right here.
That's right.
This became an agency, like a calling card, something we could put in our hand, like a study guide, if you will, and have something to talk about, even no matter where we are, and it's simple. It's not written. It ain't made to try to blow your brain up, make you the scholar of scholars. But brotherhood is so simple. The principles are so simple, but they're each one of them. You could teach a whole class for days on a principle, believe me, because they're immutable. So what we're talking about today is one of the principles of brotherhood, wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. So I thank you, brothers. We thank you by the grace of the true and living and the all-wise God for joining the call tonight. We appreciate it. We've been holding this line. We've been consistent, and we're going to remain consistent in what we're doing. We're dedicated. We want to evolve, and with the help of Almighty God, one of my personal goals, I said we got to touch at least I personally want to touch 1 million brothers on this subject matter, and pushing it. That's my personal. I ain't talking about online. It could be a combination of both. But we should have some type of goal in how we're going to impact the lives of brothers around us. Touch and talk to somebody every day if you can. You encounter a black man, find something positive to say to the brother. You don't know what kind of day he having. Everything is already stacked against us as it is. But we don't feel sorry for ourselves. We stand up and we bear it and grin and we carry it on the shoulders like we supposed to. But it still means a lot when your brother can say to you, brother, keep your head up, man. You're doing a good job. So be that part of that voice and a part of that culture of encouraging brotherhood amongst each other. So I thank you, brothers, for tuning into this show tonight, and we'll be back at you, God willing, next Thursday. We're gonna keep this thing going hot. All right, so tune in, and also go to our Instagram page, brothers. We got a We Must First Be Brothers Instagram IG page. We got a Facebook page, We Must First Be Brothers. Go and join that, and participate. One of the things I'm encouraging brothers to do is, if you got short video, you feeling some type of inspirational thought, put it together, tag We Must First Be Brothers in it. We're trying to we gotta be strategically at war with the foolery, with the cancel culture, with all these things that are toxic and negative in our community. We need black men to sound off. So if you got life experience, brother, you got something to say. You got something to say. Say it. Put your words out there. Put them on the internet. Go to war so that we can start to change the culture that we're living in that's counterproductive and destructive to our people. And we can change it to something that it needs to be. And that is one of uplift and encouragement, brotherhood, love, peace, all those jewels that we need to stand on. So thank you so much again, brothers. I'm gonna go get me something to eat because the brother is over here on fumes. You know, it's been dry all day. so may Allah bless you and may strengthen you all and be peaceful until we meet again, and be safe. Peace.
Peace, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.